Hi there and welcome to Joe World. Please consider subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss any of our uploads. If you have baby for my husband, come out. My husband will not react to anything. I am his spokesman. You cannot bully Mr. Lawal into talking. Because if you come for my husband, you definitely come for me. And if you come for my husband will come for you. It's not me that is saying all of these things. It's actress Lizzy Anjorin. She has replied the alleged first wife and baby mama of Mr. Lawal, her husband. So what happened is this. Few days ago, the woman, now known as Fola Tinubu, she went on blogs on social media to ask for help, alleging that she has a child for the man, that is Mr. Lawal. According to the former Mrs. Lawal, she asked for help and mercy. She said people should donate money for her because her name is Fola Tinubu. She's married with 3 kids, and she's the lady that Lizzy Anjorin married her husband. According to her, she's been unable to feed her children. School fees has not been paid, house rent has not been paid, she's tired of living, she can't work freely in her area because she's so indebted to so many people, and she's always calling her friends to assist her. It's been very hard for her, and she needs mercy because the suffering is too much. Lizzy Anjorin married her husband, and she's not trying to drag husband with any other person. No, she's not trying to get back together with Mr. Lawal, but she just wants to start a good life all over again with any source of living, because she doesn't have a source of living. She doesn't have any income. She was relying on Mr. Lawal, and so on and so forth. Nigeria has actually reacted because this is not the first time baby mama allegation will follow Mr. Lawal. When they newly married, when Elizabeth and Mr. Lawal newly married, news broke that Mr. Lawal has a wife and children somewhere, but Lizzy Anjorin came online to refute the claim. She posted videos on her social media platforms asking the said woman to reach out, saying her husband was never married and he doesn't even have a child. She recently gave birth and announced the child to be her second child and Mr. Lawal's only child. When the supposed new wife now came out to speak, Liz has taken her time to respond. She said she came with evidence. She said the woman, her name is Fola Tinubu, we know that now, and that they paid the woman regularly. She said they paid her 300,000 some time ago, and in January she was paid almost 220,000, and between January and May now that they've paid the woman close to ₦1 million, and that the woman said she does not have a place to sleep, that she's been unable to pay her house rent, that her husband is even in contact with the landlord of her house. She even played an audio recording where her husband was talking to the supposed landlord, and that the Fola Tinubu lady told the landlord that if anybody should call, she should say her rent has not been paid. And so, contrary to what she said on the blog, she has a house and her husband pays for the house. That is, Mr. Lawal pays for the house. The deal of the detail now is that she alleged her husband impregnated her and she allowed it stay. And it was because of her that her husband decided to take the baby. And her husband wasn't married to her even before the pregnancy happened. So probably Mr. Lawal stepped out on Lizzy Anjorin while they were dating, because he said they've known each other for over 13 years before they decided to marry. So while they were dating, or while they were being friends, he was involved with this Fola Tinubu lady. She now claimed that she has 3 kids for Mr. Lawal, the Fola Tinubu, and so Lizzy Anjorin is saying the woman should take DNA test to prove the paternity of the children, as the case may be, which is why she's saying, if you have any child for my husband, come out now to speak up or forever remain silent, because she just let her husband take care of the kids to avoid trouble. And if indeed her husband is responsible for all the children, they will take full responsibility of the children. But if it happens that her husband is not even a father to one of the kids, then there will be a problem. She allotted praise to her husband for his hardworking status, his high level of decency, that since she's known him, he has not stepped out and what have you. and that she met Mr. Lawal with children, and Mr. Lawal rather met Fola Tinubu with children, and that Fola Tinubu does not even know where the man lives, where Lizzy Anjorin and her husband lives, and that while the man was even a bachelor, Fola Tinubu did not even know where he lived. See, the story is somehow contradicting, because at first she said she knew when the lady was pregnant, and she allowed her then BF or fiance, now turned husband, Mr. Lawal, to accept and take care of the pregnancy. She even said the car that she was using while she was pregnant, she made her husband give Fola Tinubu the car. So that the subsequent ones that came in the same video, she now said the woman came with children before she met Mr. Lawal. In that same video, she had earlier said he doesn't even have a child out of wedlock, and then when they first got married, she said he was never married to anybody. And now she's insinuating that indeed the woman has children for her husband. The woman has been involved with her husband and bore him kids, but they were never married, which is why I want to believe she earlier said her husband is not married and does not have any children or any child out of wedlock. But then they take care of this woman, even with her kids that they are sure is not their own, or they are sure is not for Mr. Lawal. They still take care of this woman, even though they are not sure of the source of the kids, because they don't even know where they came from. They don't know the kids' paternity, and that the woman just bore a child for her husband. Seeing, she said she's the one taking care of her husband and the home, and that the Mrs. Fola Tinubu is creating trouble because she Lizzy Anjorin is a public figure, and because she has always danced to Fola's tune to avoid trouble and being on blogs, which is what is actually finally happening to her now, seeing as Fola Tinubu has decided to go on major blog sites to ask for donations to be able to take care of herself and her children. Last, she came for her haters and those trying to see to her downfall and those that are not happy for her union. Earlier in May, she announced the birth of her child after she married Mr. Lawal in 2020, and the wedding ceremony, or the aftermath of the wedding, was actually treated with so much drama. She had to come out to address this same issue of him being a married man, and she called on anybody who has a child for her husband to speak up. And that is when Fola Tinubu actually spoke up this year after she gave birth to a child for the man, and now she's saying she is aware her husband has a child for somebody. So that's why I'm saying the story is even contradicting herself. Anyways, it's if that's everything concerning Lizzy Anjorin, and people have reacted. People are saying she should calm down and relax because her marriage is already blessed and no ill thoughts will prosper. Others are saying she should stop explaining what's happening in her home and just let sleeping dogs lie, because at the end of the day, she has said it and acknowledged that Fola Tinubu is a clout chaser who is trying to make money off Lizzy Anjorin's name, and so she shouldn't give her that opportunity. She does not always have to clear and name or clear things up, and that is what happens when you are a public figure. People would want to cash out through you or via you, and whatever as the case may be. But that's it concerning Lizzy Anjorin. Let me know what you think about the story, because to me personally, the whole story is not even clear. Stick to one story. What do you want to stick to? Are you asking for a DNA test? Did your husband or then boyfriend or fiance or friend, whatever, cheat on you? Or while you were friends, before you even decided you wanted to get married or have something to do together, was it with another woman? Just make things clear for yourself, and then do the paternity test, and don't involve with the general public, because, well, in the actual sense, we really don't want to know. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, take care of you and bye.